Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. The US State Department has ordered all non-emergency government staff to leave Iraq urgently. The move comes as tensions escalate with Iran. Last week, Washington said it had detected new and urgent threats from the country. USS Abraham Lincoln has also arrived in the Middle East, with the Navy saying it's positioning itself to protect US forces and interests in the region and to deter any aggression. America sharply increased sanctions against Tehran after President Trump withdrew from the nuclear deal. The latest development will fuel fears of a war, but both the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei have both said they don't want that to happen.
بنا نیست انجام بگیره و انجام هم نخواهد گرفت به توفیق الهی. نه ما دنبال جنگیم، اونا هم به صرفشون نیست که دنبال جنگ باشن. میدونن که به صرفشون نیست.
We're looking for Iran to behave like a normal country, and that's our ask. And we have applied pressure to the leadership of the Islamic Republic of Iran to achieve that. We fundamentally do not seek a war with Iran. We've also made clear to the Iranians that if American interests are attacked, we will most certainly respond in an appropriate fashion.
Sudan's ruling military leaders have reached an agreement with the opposition alliance, announcing a 3-year transition period to a civilian government. The alliance will hold 2/3 of the seats on the Legislative Council, but a deal is yet to be made on the top tier of power, the Sovereign Council, where both sides want a majority. A joint committee has also been formed to investigate the shooting of protesters who've been camped outside the Defense Ministry for more than a month, demanding immediate change. A woman in Las Vegas has been charged with murder after she pushed an elderly man off a bus. A warning: the video we're about to show you contains images that some people may find distressing. It shows the incident and the moment of impact. In CCTV released by police, you can see the suspect, 25-year-old Kadesha Bishop, and the victim arguing as the vehicle stops to let passengers off. As the man moves to leave, he's pushed and he lands face down on the ground. It happened on April the 23rd, and he took himself to hospital later that night. His family says he died from his injuries last week. Investigators are trying to establish the cause of a mid-air collision which killed 6 people in Alaska. The sightseeing planes were carrying passengers from a Princess Cruises ship. 10 people on board one of the aircraft survived and were taken to hospital. The victims include 4 Americans, a Canadian and an Australian.
We'll be looking at the training and qualifications of the pilots, any medical issues, whether flight plans were filed with the company or the Federal Aviation Administration.
The British Prime Minister's Brexit deal is returning to Parliament for yet another vote. The withdrawal bill has already been rejected 3 times. The vote will take place at the start of next month, the same week that US President Donald Trump is due to visit the UK.
Is it clear that this is the last chance saloon for the withdrawal agreement in its current form? That is to say, it's the last chance that the Commons will get to vote on it.
If the House of Commons does not approve the WAP, then the Barnier deal is dead in that form, and I think the House will have to then address a much more fundamental question between whether it will pursue and communicate on a no deal option or whether it will revoke.
World leaders are set to consider new measures to tackle terrorism. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern will co-chair a meeting with the French President Emmanuel Macron. They're launching the Christchurch Call, a campaign designed to eliminate terrorist and extremist content online. Facebook came under fire for failing to react quick enough when a gunman live-streamed his attack, which killed 51 people in March.
We're here to listen, we're here to engage, and we're really looking forward to the dialogue. We think that these are principles that everyone, including Google, can get behind, and we can come together with governments to make sure that we can reduce harmful content online.
A Bulgarian boxer has been suspended for kissing and groping a reporter.
If Tyson Fury gets through Tom Schwartz, do you think you should have a shot?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. All right.
Kubrat Pulev grabbed Jennifer Rivolo's face during an interview moments after winning a fight in March. He's also been ordered to attend sexual harassment prevention classes and pay a $2,500 fine before he can fight again in the state of California. And finally, a new record has been set for a Claude Monet, with a painting from his celebrated Haystack series being sold for $110.7 million. The buyer, who hasn't been identified, beat 5 other bidders in an 8-minute auction in New York. And that's your international news around the world in 5.